Hey everyone, it's Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker, and we are going to look at the numbers for August, which really covered to the end of July. And we've been paying attention to housing inventory because if we get too much housing inventory, that could create a big issue. Obviously, the big Great Recession in 2006, 7, and 8 was because we had so much inventory and so little demand. And we definitely had really low demand with rates at 8%. We're going to look at that, and it is pretty crazy how low demand fell. But let's look at the numbers, and then I'll give you my thoughts as inventory has slowly continued to go up. So let's start by looking at inventory. Right now we have 11,158 homes on the market. We're going to look at how that breaks down. From last month, we're up 3.4%. So from June to July, we went up a little bit. And year over year, we're up almost 100%. So almost the double on the inventory, which is a pretty big jump. Median price, if you notice here from June to July, it went down a little bit. It's so hard to know in these month over month because the market moves seasonally and all kinds of different factors. But year over year is probably a better way to look at median price. Last year, 380. This year, at this time, 390. So median price has really stayed strong. I've done tons of videos over the years. So many people challenged me that housing prices were going to fall. And I just kept saying, if you look at the math, look at the numbers, we have to get enough inventory to make that happen. And so we never really saw median go down, even when rates got close to 8%. But now we are all of a sudden seeing this big jump up in inventory. One of the key figures I like to look at is months of supply. So right now we have 4.21 months. That basically means if you take the number of sales divided by the inventory available, how long would it take to go through that? So 4.21 months. People say a balanced market is about 6 months. That's where really sellers or buyers kind of have the same ability to negotiate in the market. To give you an idea, in 2008, we had 30 plus homes of inventory, 30 months of inventory on the market. So we are a long way from there. But that being said, inventory is definitely starting to grow. And I want to look at the total breakdown here and then give you my thoughts on some of this. So right now we have, this is July, this is saying rates at 6.65%. A better gauge of rates is to look here at Mortgage News Daily. Right now we have 6.53% as an average rate. More importantly, I like to look at this trend. We have been all over the place. At the beginning of the year, we were at 8%. Then we dropped, went back up, and then we have kind of stayed under the 7% now for about 2 weeks. So that is huge because we have been staying right around the 7%. We finally broke under, and a lot of that is because Jerome Powell and the Fed, the inflation, the market is now pricing in a lot of cuts on the Fed funds rate, anywhere from 100 to some people even saying 200 basis points in rates over the next 12 months. We shall see. Obviously, if we have a big recession, that's going to push the Fed to lower rates faster. They're also paying attention to unemployment. As unemployment rises, that's more incentive for them to lower rates. So when we look here at the numbers, 11,158 homes on the market, 7,784 of those are single family homes, 2,150 are condos, 1,224 are townhomes. New listings still getting about 4,000 or so every month on the market. Total pending about the same. Sales closed went up a little bit, but not a lot, but it is moving in the right direction. And then days on market right about 54 or 55 days a month. So I want to give you my thoughts on this inventory. If you go to YouTube and you put the Florida real estate crash, there's a million different articles and people. I would recommend you click on the link and see. They've probably been predicting a crash for the last 3 or 4 years. But we do have increase in inventory. This year at this time, we had about 5,000 plus homes. Now we have over 10. You have to go back to 2015 to where we had this many homes on the market. And my first thought would be this. This is mortgage applications. This is really at an almost all-time low. For sure, one of the lowest points over the last 25 years. That just means with rates being 8%, a lot of people just chose to sit it out, right? They couldn't afford payments, they didn't buy. And now rates are closer to 6.5% and on their way down. One of the things that Grant Cardone said, who's a big real estate investor in the market, he said you should wait until rates get to 4%. No one knows when they'll get to 4% because that would unleash some supply. Everybody knows that the only way we're going to make affordability better is either people to make more money, which is not an easy thing to do, for there get to be enough supply for the housing market to soften, or to get rates lower. Well, we're definitely going to get rates lower, and that mortgage application has already shot up a lot over the last 2 weeks. And what Grant Cardone is talking about, when you look at the market, you can see right here that 75% of the market have rates under 4.99%, and close to 60% have rates under 3.99%. That means what he's thinking is if rates drop, let's say to 4%, all of these people that are sitting on the sideline that really need to sell their home that just have decided not to, right? I mean, if you've got a payment based on a 3 or 4% rate, it's a lot to stomach to go to 7 or 8%. As that rate falls, that will push those people in the market. That's what Grant Cardone is saying. I disagree with this premise. I've covered this in other videos, and this is why. I do agree if rates got to 4%, a lot of people that have not sold over the last few years would have more incentive to put their home on the market. It would also create a huge amount of demand. A lot of people that were thinking about buying at 7%, 7.5%, and 4%, a lot of people jump in the market. And everyone that is going to be selling their home, meaning they're like, okay, we can finally sell our home, they also become a buyer. Most of them are going to sell their home and buy another house. So it really just creates more demand, in my opinion. There's a reason why Zillow, CoreLogic, Redfin, all these entities are predicting and have predicted for the last many years that we are going to get this slow, steady appreciation. Now, to give Grant Cardone his due, if rates got to 4% and the economy was really, really bad, a big recession, there's just, black swan event, something, God forbid, that we don't know about, then that could change the way I think. But right now, based on the information, based on the economy where it's at, it's likely we are going to have some kind of light recession or medium recession, probably not enough to keep people from buying a home. As rates fall, that incentivizes them to buy, sellers to sell, but then they're going to be buying a new home. And I think this 2 to 4% appreciation everybody's predicting over the next few years is going to be dead on. We'll see. I don't have a dog in that fight. I will tell you, if inventory gets to 15, 20,000 homes on the market, you are going to get a lot of price corrections. Just like if rates got to 2 to 3% and there's really low inventory, you're going to get a lot of price appreciation. It's just the math. We shall see. My opinion is rates are going to fall, inventory is going to stabilize, and we're going to probably stay in this 10 to 12,000 homes of inventory over the next few months or 6 months. We'll see. We'll look at the data every month as it becomes available. There are so many loan programs out there right now. If you thought about refinancing, this is the time to be looking. We are doing cash out refinances. We're helping people take their debt, pay everything off, consolidate it into their mortgage. So if you thought, you know what, I can't afford the debt, but I have all this equity, it's the time to be looking at it now that rates are starting to fall. So that's the data for July. As more information becomes available that moves the market, as always, I'm going to cover it right here. Have a great day, great month, and I'll talk to you soon.